Hello, everyone. My name is Vladimir Karin, and I'm the Director of Business Development at Albertina ICOME Prague. Welcome to our webinar today. I would like to give you a short introduction about our company, and then I hand over to my colleagues for the Writefull presentation. So, let me share the presentation with you once again. This is my name and email in case you wanted to write me. Okay, so our company Albertina ICOME Prague, or AIP, has been founded nearly 30 years ago in 1991. And from the very beginning, we've been serving academic markets and academic customers in the Czech Republic, and about a year later in Slovakia. Our field of activity has been from the very beginning electronic information resources, at the beginning on CD-ROM, and then at about 1995-96 we started providing information online to our customers. To be able to do this, we started partnerships with about 50 or 60 global publishers in the academic market. You can see some of their logos on here, and I bet some of them may be familiar to you because majority of academic institutions in the Czech Republic and in Slovakia make good use of such information resources like those from ProQuest, Cambridge University Press, Oxford, Lippincott, Williamson, Wilkins, Taylor and Francis, and many others. As I mentioned, our customers are academic institutions, universities, research libraries and research institutes in the Czech Republic and in Slovakia. And we closely collaborate with the National Consortia for Electronic Resources, represented by CzechILib in the Czech Republic and the Center of Scientific and Technical Information in Slovakia. Now, this is a list of our institutional customers for Writefull, for the tool we will be speaking about today in the Czech Republic. And currently, at the beginning of March, these are the institutions that in the Czech Republic that have access to Writefull on trial for 1 month. So if you are coming from one of those institutions, you may take advantage of the trial right now. If your institutions was not listed on either of these lists and you are still in the Czech Republic, you may want to speak to your library or your university management, and we would happily provide an institutional trial to you as well. Now, let me hand over to my colleague Ladislav Sršek from Albertina ICOME Bratislava in Slovakia. Thank you for
listening. Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you. My name is Ladislav Sršek, and my team is operating in the Slovak Republic. We are providing the same level of service and support for academic institutions and researchers here in the Slovakia. So our activities are very similar to our Czech colleagues. In relation to Writefull, currently there are several trials open in the Slovak Republic as well. You can see the list on the screen. If your institution is not listed there, again, you can ask the library for a trial, and we will do our best to set it up in a short time for you and for your colleagues. There is no regular institution subscriber yet in Slovakia, so just these traveling institutions. If you would like to know more about our activities or what we are doing, visit our websites you can see on the screen, or subscribe to our mailing list so you will receive news from a chosen field of study or research you are doing. And here are the list of persons who you can contact regarding Writefull, which is our today's topics. So let's go for it. Vojta, it's your turn.
Hello, my name is Vojta Karen, and I am in charge of customer support for Writefull here in the Czech Republic. So if you have any problems at all, you can contact me, and I will hopefully be able to help you, or with the help of the Writefull support. And if you have any questions during this webinar, just please put them in the chat, and we'll get to them at the end of the end of the session. So let me just share my screen over here. Okay, so first I will show you a short introduction of what Writefull is and why it's been developed. And afterwards, I'll show you how to use different tools that are part of Writefull. Okay, so scientific writing is key to education and research. So students and researchers have to write lots of different texts during their careers or their studies. For example, for students, is there some assignments, some theses, dissertations, bachelor works, etc. For researchers, could be reports, some conference proceedings, journal papers, asking for financing, etc. And many students and researchers struggle with academic writing, mostly if English is their second language. But even if they know English really well, academic English is very different from general English. So they can still struggle even if they speak English pretty well. And that's why they developed Writefull, which offers tools to help you with scientific writing. Writefull is based on deep learning models, where deep learning is a strand of AI, of artificial intelligence. Sorry. And they processed a large database of scientific texts from which they extracted the patterns of academic writing. And on these patterns, they developed these deep learning models that are able to predict when a text that was written by a student or a researcher doesn't follow these patterns and how it could be corrected. So this can be a lot of different mistakes, which we'll see in a minute, and this makes Writefull's feedback tailored to scientific writing, because it was processed on the database of scientific texts from different kinds of fields. So here you can see 5 linguistic categories that Writefull provides feedback for. So the first one, so grammar, spelling, word use, punctuation, and style. In grammar, you can see that the author used the preposition on, but in would be more appropriate in this instance. In the second, with spelling, you can see a fairly difficult or like advanced scientific term that all the other language tools, or most of the other language tools, wouldn't be able to tell that it contains a mistake, but as you can see, it does. So Writefull, since it's based on this large database of scientific tests, it can detect this. Third is word use. So here you can see that the author used the word ability, but capability would be more appropriate. Punctuation, which is fairly important here in the Czech Republic, but if you speak a different language from English, then it might be difficult for you as well, because the punctuation rules are often fairly different between the languages, and so here the author didn't use a comma after, however. And the last is language styles, which can be, for example, using informal expressions where formal would be more suitable, or conciseness when you're using too many words where one would suffice. So here the author used huge, but large or great or considerable or substantial would be more appropriate. Writefull is trusted by publishers. It was successfully piloted by the open access publisher Hindawi, and Cambridge University Press is using Writefull to expedite COVID-19 research, because they're able to help the authors to get feedback on that text before they even send it in, or even while writing it, which makes the afterwards the language corrections much faster. And from the authors that used it, 98% said that Writefull is useful. It gives them better confidence before sending in their texts, and they accept 92% of suggestions given by Writefull. Writefull is private and secure. It uses end-to-end encryption, so even while your text is being sent to the Writefull servers, it's encrypted, so no one can read it. And at the Writefull end, at their server end, they don't store any texts that you send in, and they don't even store the suggestions that Writefull gave you. So you don't have to worry that it might be used in that way. And they don't use this data to improve their language models. And for that, to improve their language models, they use data that they already have, or that they get in other ways. For example, they purchase it, or they get it through, or it's available through open access. So like that. So they're not training on your data. And now I'll show you that the Writefull products can be divided into 2 tools that help you while writing, and 2 tools that help you revise a finished text, or a mostly finished text. The first is Writefull for Word, which provides some language feedback in Microsoft Word, and a database that you can use to browse the language of scientific texts. So let me just here open a window and show you first how to install Writefull for Word, and then how to actually use it. So to install it, just go to the website writefull.com, and I hope you can still see my screen, but yeah, it seems that way. And click on For Researchers down here, and here you can see Writefull for Microsoft Word. If you are using Office Online, so like Microsoft 365 or something like this, or macOS, click on here. But I'm using Windows, so I'll use Windows here. Just click Windows here. Just click here. It will open another window, and here just click Download. Below this, you can see some more information about how it's used and some info about the installation, but I'm just gonna click on Install. And after it's downloaded, just click the file, and it will install. I actually had it installed now, so I'll show you uninstallation as well. So to uninstall it, just click, and that's it done. And if you want to install it, just click Install, and you will see that it's been installed pretty quickly. Sometimes it shows you a window if you're willing to asking you if you're willing to make changes to your computer or to let Writefull make changes to your computer. You have to click yes, because the changes are actually the installation of Writefull. And now if you open Microsoft Word, I have a document prepared here. It will show you that up here there is a new tab called Writefull, and if you click on it, you'll see a new tab with some new information. And first, you have to sign in or create an account. Here, I will just click sign in, and now it signed me in automatically because I already had it installed once. But to show you the registration, I'll click sign in again, and now I have to sign in, or more exactly, I have to create an account, because at this moment as a new user I wouldn't have a Writefull account. So just click don't have an account, fill in your email and your password. And click sign up. This will send you an email to your email address. If you haven't received it, just click resend verification email and it will send you again. And now if I look in my account, you can see that here I have a link, and if I click it, it will just quickly open a browser window. I just continue to verify my email address, continue, and that's it. My email has been verified. And now I'm in Writefull, I just have to click I have verified my account, and it has signed me in. In the case that my email address is not in the domain of one of the institutions that have access to Writefull, either as a purchase or subscription or just a trial access, I will not see all of these options here. But since my institution has it, I can see all of the options here, and I will show you them first, starting with check document. If you click on check document, it will go through the whole document very quickly. Sorry, this is just, and find all of the language suggestions that Writefull has found here on the right. If you click on the suggestion, it will show you exactly where in the text it is, and you can either accept the suggestion by clicking on the new, and or reject it and use the original word you used or the phrase you used. Here it's important to note that you should not accept all of the suggestions that Writefull gives you automatically without thinking about it, because it still is an algorithm, and it can be mistaken. Like even a human can be mistaken, so an algorithm can be mistaken as well. So please just check all of the suggestions and to see if you actually accept what they're giving you. If you are willing to accept it, just click here and it will correct it in the text. I have the function called track changes turned on, which means that it showed in here like this. But if you don't have it turned on, it will just show you the new word you used. And on the other hand, if you don't want to accept the suggestions, just click on the other option, and it will just keep the word as it was and remove it from your suggestions here. And here you can go through the whole text and get the corrections you might want. But what if you don't want to go to check the whole text, which might take quite a long time if the text is long, if it's a couple hundred pages or something, it can take a long time. Well, in that case, you can just use the check paragraph, which will look at the paragraph that your cursor is in right now and only provide suggestions for that given paragraph. So here you can see that it gives you still quite a few of them, but all of them are in the one paragraph. The third one is revise with track changes, which you will go through the document and find all of the suggestions using the track changes function. Oh, one last thing, maybe I didn't say it, I'm not sure. The number here is a percentual, like how sure Writefull is that this suggestion is correct. So the bigger the percentage, the more sure Writefull is that it's actually correct. And with revise with track changes, it will go through the whole text and correct it using the track changes function that I showed you earlier, that I was talking about earlier. And once it finishes, okay. And now if you want to accept a suggestion, you just click write and click accept, and maybe accept the deletion. If you don't want to, you can just go and click write and click decline suggestion. And this might be useful for people who are used to the track changes function, or maybe to see all of the words in the context where they are right away, but it doesn't actually show you the percentages of how sure Writefull is. So you have to choose yourself. Now I'll go back and actually put away all of the suggestions so that it's more clear what I'll be doing afterwards. And okay, there we go. And the next function I'll show you is sentence palette. Sentence palette is a collection of sentences or phrases that you might want to use in your text. It is mostly useful if maybe you're new to scientific writing or you're not sure which phrases to use exactly. And you just click on sentence palette. And now you will see all of the sections that correspond to standard section of academic texts, so introduction, literature, results, etc. And then some subsections of what you actually want to, what do you actually want to say. So for example, here in literature, if you want to provide a negative study review, so you don't agree with the author of the study, here it shows you all kinds of different phrases that you can use to actually express this. And if there are different options, it will show you different ones, and you can just click on it. And it will insert into the text where your cursor is this suggestion, and you just have to fill in the name of the author and continue with the sentence. This is really useful for people who are new or struggle with scientific writing, and but obviously you wouldn't want to insert it here in the middle of the sentence. So I'll just put it back. And the last one is language search, which contains a large collection of journal articles that can be browsed to see how different words or phrases are used by other authors. And for example, here in the introduction, I'm using the phrase "the biggest issue in transaction management," etc. And I'm not sure about the word "biggest," so I'll just use language search and search for the biggest issue and see how many times it comes up. It came up 51 times. As you'll see in a minute, 51 is a pretty small number. And if you want to see the whole sentence of one of these examples, you just have to click on it and it will show you the whole sentence with, or actually a short part of the text so that you're better, you know what the context is. So, and 51 is very, very small, which I'll show you in a minute. So let's say that I also know the word main. So I'll just put a / between them and search for biggest / main issue. And here it will show me that the biggest issue shows up 51 times and the main issue shows up almost 1700 times, which is a lot more. And so it probably would be more useful to use the word to use the word main. And let's say that I want to see all of the options that are actually used, all of the words that are used in this sentence, the gap issue. I'll just put an underscore, and it shows me all of the words that are used. So the new, the clinical, the real. But as you can see, this is not really all that useful because lots of them are not a synonym of the word biggest, and they're not like useful in this context. So what I can do is I can just put the words per word in between asterisks and click enter, and it will show me all of the synonyms that are used in the same context and how often. So here I can see that the most used is probably key, 23%. And if I want to be really sure about the given context, I can just continue with some more words from the sentence I was working on. And here it shows me that most often is the word key is used. So I should probably change it to main, not to key, not biggest. That was originally there. And this also shows up that like none of these words is the only good option. So main one might be okay, key, critical, major. So there is lots of options always. And the last button here, just to see more about Writefull and some more information. And next, I will show you Writefull for Overleaf, which provides you with language feedback in the Overleaf tool. And I will show you again how to install it and then how to use it. So again, I will go to writefull.com, go to for researchers, and here I can see Writefull for Overleaf. And if I just click add, it will open up my my Chrome web store, and I had it installed already, so I just remove it. And to install it, you just click add to Chrome. I have it in Czech, sorry, but you'll see the same in English pretty much, and it's pretty straightforward. Just add it, and it will show you that it's been installed. And now if I go to Overleaf, which is, well, I'll first tell you what actually Overleaf is. Overleaf is an editor of LaTeX files, and LaTeX files are files that, like, it's for writing in a kind of scientific way. So here you can see it's, or programming way. So here you can see it's like fairly structured, and on the right you can see the actual PDF that will show up the given text. And once I've installed Writefull, I'll just sign out so that it's the way that you'd see it. It shows me again, welcome, create an account or log in. I will not show you how to create the account again because it's the same thing pretty much with Microsoft Word. So I'll just log in. And I am signed in. And now Writefull will go through the whole text and underline in red all of the words that it has suggestions for. And if you click on the given word, it will show you the percentage of how short it is. And if you want to use that new word, you'll just click on it and it will replace it. And and to see it on the right as well, I'll just recompile and it will show you the new word. And if you don't want to accept some of the words, you just click on the keep, and it will keep the last word. And here you can see that sentence palette and language search are not available yet, but they are coming soon. So soon, even users of Overleaf will be able to use this function. And a difference from Microsoft Word is that Overleaf in its base form is free, so you can get access to actually these for free, while Microsoft Word, if you don't have any, it's actually pretty expensive and you have to have a subscription or purchase it. And the next is I got to the tools that help you revise a text. And the first is Writefull Revise, which provides you with language feedback on text. For Writefull Revise, every institution that has access to Writefull has a given URL that you just have to go to, and it will work wherever you are. It doesn't, like, for now there is no other authentication. It's just about the link, and you have to accept to the terms of service and upload a document, which it can be a Word document, so one of these two, or a LaTeX file, so this one. And I'll click on upload. I'll use a document that I've prepared earlier, and up here you can see the 5 different linguistic categories that we talked about earlier, and the number of suggestions in the different categories that are coming up. And here is the whole text that I put there. And if you want to accept a suggestion, you just click on the green button. If you want to take it back, just click on the arrow there. And as you can see, the text is like just the text without any links, any images, any of that will not be shown here in Writefull Revise. This is to make you focus more on the actual text. But after you actually accept some of the suggestions, or all of them, I don't know, you can continue to download the file afterwards in the same format that it was in previously. And this is useful mostly for more finished text, but also if you don't have access to Microsoft Word or Overleaf, it's a good way to check your text. And the last I will show you will be Writefull Cite, which provides you with feedback on missing citations in a text. So again, you have your given link, and you just have to click on it and upload a document. I will upload my prepared document here. The formats are the same, and it will go through the document and find places that might be missing a citation. It doesn't actually like compare it to a database, and it's not used for plagiarism check. It's just based on language analysis. So if I scroll down here, you see that most of the text is grayed out, but here is a sentence that is not grayed out, and that might be missing a citation. And here in yellow, you see the percentage of how sure Writefull is that this place is missing a citation. So here it's 99% sure that there should be a citation here. And the reason for that here is pretty straightforward, because it says it has been described that and ... And if you say it has been described, you should probably provide the link to the citation to where it has been described. And you can see there are more of them. And up here, you can have a slider that you can choose to see how strict Writefull will be with the citation it will show you. So if you go down, it will show more suggestions, but if you go up, it will show less of them. And less of them. And if you click here on compact view, it will just show you just the paragraphs that actually have a suggestion in them, and hide all of the rest of the text. So that is all of the texts that all of the tools that I was going to I'm going to show you today. And lastly, just for some technical requirements for them. So Writefull Revise and Cite, since they're in a web browser, you can just use in pretty much any modern browser, as you can see. If you use a different browser, I would suggest trying it. It might work as well, but since all of these are free, you can just download this one to use it. Writefull for Overleaf, you have to use Google Chrome because it's a Google Chrome add-on, but Chrome is free as well, so there is no limitation there. And for Writefull for Word, and I should probably say that for Writefull for Overleaf, you also need to have an Overleaf account, which is free. And for Writefull for Word, you need Microsoft Word 2013 or newer, or Microsoft Word 365. And the institution that you have access to Word from has the admin has to have permitted the installation of add-ins. So some of them actually prevent this for security reasons. And if that's the case, just please contact your admin and try to work something out. And you also need an institutional email with from the institution, that actually has access to Writefull, and it can be a normal email or inside a subdomain. So like this, pretty straightforward. And that's all from me today. If you have any questions, please put them. We'll put them to the chat, and we'll get to them now. And also, if you think of anything afterwards, just contact me in Czech Republic, or my colleague Miriam in Slovakia.
Thank you, Vojta, for the presentation. There is only one question at this moment in the chat. So if anyone of our participants would like to ask anything, please put it in the chat. There is the first question is: a year ago we installed a trial version of Writefull in MS Word. It was an add-in from Office Store. Do we need to remove the add-in before installing the newly released version? I would definitely suggest to reinstall. I don't think you need to remove it before installing the new version. But it's always advisable to use the most recent version of a software. So I suggest you reinstall Writefull now. Okay, the second question is Writefull always 100% free, or do you have features for which we have to pay? It is not for free, actually. There is a freely available version, but it's quite limited. It will only provide you with a couple of suggestions for free. But there are basically three versions how to license, three options how to license Writefull. You can either buy a personal license, which you can purchase online via the Writefull.com website, or your institution may have an institutional license, or a kind of a medium version, intermediate version is that your institution or group of researchers buys a group license. The group license is for a minimum of 50 accounts, and of course, these are named accounts, so you have to tell us which email addresses you want this group account to work for, and then Writefull will be licensed. The premium version of license, the paid version of license will be available to those users. Right. Next question: How long do we have the license at VŠHT Praha? Is that permanent or limited? Writefull, thanks for that. I forgot to mention that Writefull license is an annual subscription. So VŠHT has an annual subscription now for 1 year with an option to continue, of course. So, and if I'm right, I think the license is for the calendar year, so it should be available until the end of this year minimum. But especially at VŠHT, the usage has been very, very good. So I have no reasons to believe that the library would not want to continue with the subscription. How much is full version of Writefull for individuals? Please go to writefull.com. You click on researchers, and here you are.
I've actually already now shown you the page. This is it. And each institution has their own link for Writefull Revise and Writefull Cite, which is the question that appeared in the chat in the meantime. And these the link should be available at your library's website. So I'm sure if you go to všht.cz and make a search for Writefull, then it will pop up you with the correct link. Yes, and the link you have sent is actually just a test account that will be closed very soon. So please don't use that one.
There was a second part of that question. When will the cite option be integrated into Writefull for Word? I admit I don't know at this moment. So far, it is a separate product, and the logic why it is a separate product, just like Revise, is that it's intended to be used at the end of when you are really finalizing the text for submitting, while Writefull for Word or Writefull for Overleaf is intended to be used during writing the article. Okay. Is Writefull Revise better than MS Word Writefull Revise with track changes? I'm not sure if I understand perfectly the question, but in terms of suggestions, the functionality of all versions of Writefull, except Cite, of course, because it's different. So the suggestions for functionality is the same. So there are some other some other features, but the revised functionality is the same. What is it? Was it the difference compared with Grammarly? You should check, but Grammarly is a tool that has been developed to provide corrections of ordinary English, of everyday language, while Writefull has been specifically designed for scientific writing. That's the most important difference, and we think it's very important because of the obvious differences between academic text and fluent English, everyday English, and as Writefull has been trained and is continuously being retrained on tens of millions of language or of English language articles, then it should be up to date, and it has learned the academic English. So that's the main reason. Does the Writefull language search use a similar database like Google Scholar, which one can access a larger literature database? I'm not sure if I'm the best one to answer this question, as it's quite deep, but the database that Writefull has been trained on is, as I mentioned, tens of millions of scientific articles. Google Scholar will probably be larger, but not everything on Google Scholar is peer-reviewed contents. There's a lot of unpeer-reviewed, non-peer-reviewed journals and other types of literature. So I would expect that Writefull should do its job better than using Google Scholar. But
I think if the question is for language search, that tool in particular, then that's actually a hand-picked database that's fairly smaller. I don't know, a couple thousand probably, but they are hand-picked, the articles that are used in language search, not general Writefull, just language search. So there, Google Scholar is larger, but more prone to error, let's just say, or less of a lesser quality, I would say.
Thank you. Next question. Besides the open access database, does Writefull language search engine access the subscription journals for better search results? Yes. Writefull has not been limited to open access articles. The company has collaborated with several academic publishers like Gale, Cengage Gale, and some others. So it's not based purely on open access content. Definitely not. Out of curiosity and mostly irrelevant, are you planning to add any other languages to Writefull in the future? I've not heard about such plans, I have to say. I think that the main reason or the main difficulty of such a decision would be that, of course, each and every language is different, and the artificial intelligence that is the base of Writefull would have to be rewritten. But let's see. Who can say
also,
so?
I think what is important is that the biggest amount of scientific articles and works, are in English, even here in the Czech Republic, for example. So English is most useful. But let me say that if they add other languages, Czech will probably not be one of them, or not soon, because we are so small.
Right. Last question so far. Does the Writefull database contain scientific texts composed only by native speakers, or is there no such filtration? There actually is not, but there is another filtration, so to say, because this is published content. Even if it's open access or subscription based, it's peer-reviewed, and it has went through language correction by the writers or external services, and it's checked before publishing by the publisher themselves. So, so the language used in published peer-reviewed material should be, on average, say, correct academic English. Okay, any more questions? There's one more. Is there any option to find any potential overlap with phrases from the body text to recently published articles to find out any potential unwanted duplication in literature reviews? Well, this, if I understand your question right, this is actually not the purpose of a tool like Writefull, because the unwanted duplication, or as we call plagiarism, is addressed by totally different tools like Original, Urkund, Plaxcan, Turnitin, and similar tools. Thesis.cz in the Czech Republic. So this is not the purpose of Writefull. It's not an anti-plagiarism tool. Okay, thanks for one more. After installation using Writefull Revise, Microsoft Word instantly slowed down. I don't think there is any link between using Writefull Revise and using Microsoft Word. I've not ever heard about even a relationship between Microsoft Word getting slowed down because of the Writefull add-in. So,
but I think you could contact the Writefull support, or me, and I will contact the Writefull support, and maybe we will find something that's your option, I think.
We would definitely need much more information to do that.
Sure,
any screenshots, detailed information about your PC configuration, whether it's Windows, etc. How would you access Microsoft Word, whether it's a local installation or online, etc., etc. So I'm sorry, we can't really cope with this question online. Okay, it seems that we've answered all questions. I hope you found our today's webinar useful, and I even more hope that you'll find Writefull useful. Please let us know your feedback. If you have any positive or negative experience, we are always very much interested to hear about it. And we wish you a nice afternoon. It's sunshine outside, at least here. So yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for listening.
And for the recording, we'll probably upload it tomorrow, I think, today or tomorrow. So, and I will send you the link afterwards. So don't worry about that. Thank you for your attention, and hopefully you'll find it useful.
Thank you for your attention. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.